Hey guys, here is my weekly news roundup. In today's videos we will discuss a daring challenge involving a Ukrainian drone on Red Square, the Russia's authorities' heightened security measures, and a surprising drone discovery near Moscow. We will also discuss an insightful interview with Ukraine's chief intelligence officer, Kyrylo Budanov, and exciting news about the arrival of Leopard's 1A5 tanks in the country. Oh, and of course, let's not forget about the dangerous smoking accidents in Sevastopol. And if there are other types of news you want me to include in these update videos, please let me know in the comment below. Volodymyr Yatsenko. Who is it? Why do we start with him? Well, not too long time ago, this man promised to pay 20 million hryvnias, which is about $500,000 US, to anyone who could land a Ukrainian drone on Red Square on May 9th, where a parade dedicated to the anniversary of the USSR's victory in World War II will be held, and where Putin is expected to be. Ambitious, isn't it? Of course, this was only the background and setting of our scene. As the story progresses, we now know that the Russian authorities, well, there are war criminals and terrorists, but I guess in Russia this is known as authorities. They are so rattled that they are now preparing to defend Red Square against a potential hostile attack. Good. Let them understand that the meaning of the consequences are an unprecedented number of electronic warfare systems, various of air defense systems, and of course, fear are expected for the temporary Kremlin authorities during this year's parade. If you have forgotten, various air defense systems have already been installed on the roofs of Moscow's high-rise not too long ago. It's interesting to wonder what this could mean and how the world's second largest army went from capturing Kiev in 3 days to defending their own capital on their special day, because a Ukrainian businessman promised less than 1/5 of the cost of one of the hundreds of missiles Russia has fired at us. Moving on, don't you just hate when the Russians accidentally smoke and then blow up everything around them? I mean, I don't smoke, but wow, when doctors said smoking is dangerous, I really didn't think they meant it was this dangerous. Explosions were reported by the residents of the temporarily occupied Sevastopol a couple of days ago. Ukrainian naval drones attacked the Strzelecka Bay again, which is where the Russians fueled their Black Sea fleet from. You know, the same Black Sea fleet that is currently in the process of going and fucking itself, much like their beloved warship did last year. Of course, initially the terrorist occupiers claimed that the attack was successfully repelled. But we know that Russians start lying as soon as they open their mouths. It turns out that the Ukrainian drones, which we have thousands and they are incredibly cheap for us to make, targeted their oil depot, which had a capacity of 40,000 tons of fuel, have been destroyed. And over the last couple of days, it is not the beautiful sunset of Sevastopol that paint the sky pink, but the raging fires of impending Russian defeat. This greatly reduced the ability of Russia to fuel their ships quickly. Reportedly, there are no casualties. I think Russia should worry more about the upcoming smoking accidents. From my understanding, there will be many, many, many more. Oh, guys, if you're still watching and you haven't subscribed or liked it, What are you waiting for? I cannot report on the Kerch Bridge being blown up again until it's actually blown up, right? Now, do you guys know anything about the city of Rovenki? I think not, but this city definitely deserves a mention because, of course, we received more pictures of smoking accidents. This is what a burning tank with oil products looks like. Unfortunately, not the entire oil depot caught fire, but we all sincerely hope that the armed forces of Ukraine will correct this unfortunate mistake. In general, this week has been explosive because even not including Sevastopol, there have been many more explosions along the front lines. Some at HIMARS o'clock, others at drones are here to fuck you up, Russian invaders o'clock. My favorite time of the day. Talking about drones, just picture this. You are walking through a quiet forest, not far from the capital on the superpower, thinking about that you are completely protected and in complete safety, when suddenly you come across a drone lying in the middle of the forest, like this one. This drone was found by a resident of a Moscow region while walking in the forest. According to the Russian official sources, the drone was filled with 17 kilograms of explosives. Remember the first news item? What do you think? The funny thing about the situation is that this drone could have been lying in the forest for an unknown amount of time, and if not for the local resident, no one would have ever found about it. Personally, I'm delighted by the fact that our drones are already starting to reach Moscow. I'm even more delighted that the Russian intelligence and detection services are relying on locals going for quiet walks in the forest to discover them. I bet this is a part of the incredible strategy of getting the civilians involved, and definitely not due to their inability to detect cheap drones with explosive next to their city. I'm going to speak about our main man in just a moment, but before I do that, I want to thank you all for your support through Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. This has allowed me to continue improving the quality of the stories I bring from Ukraine. And if you'd like to become a supporter, I have left a link in the description below. Thank you so much. Now, let's move on. You all know this man, right? I know you do. Yes, you are not mistaken. This is Kyrylo Budanov, Ukraine's head of military intelligence, who gave another interview to our media. He said some interesting things. He said that Russians are saving their missiles to preserve them for our counteroffensive. I'm going to talk about Uman in a second, but the number of missiles Russia uses is clearly disproportionate to how many they fired last autumn and winter. Budanov's main thesis is the claim that Ukraine is fully capable of returning to its 1991 borders by the end of 2023. Of course, I won't speculate about the counteroffensive, but I will keep you informed of all the interesting events. Now, please forgive me, but I cannot bring myself to joke about this or be humorous about this. You guys have all heard about Uman by now, a city far away from the front lines that has nothing to do with the war. The Russians bombed a residential building. There many have died, including children, and they attacked this building in the middle of the night so no one could escape. There was a video of a mother in an agony who has lost her daughter. I want you to remember these videos and other videos, because this mother speaks for all of Ukrainian mothers, daughters, brothers, fathers, sisters, sons that the Russian terrorists have killed. There are so many Ukrainians who have lost someone they loved, and for this we will not forgive Russia. And for this we cannot and will not allow Russia 1 inch of our territory, no matter how difficult you think this goal is. I would like to end on some good news now. More and more Leopards are on their way. Dozens of Leopard 1 tanks may arrive in Ukraine in the second half of 2023. The Leopard 1A5 modification is the most advanced in its class of equipment. And now these predators are heading to Ukraine to feast on invading meat. May their hunts be successful. Now, while the Leopards are preparing their hunts, what do you guys think they will feast on first? I think it will be the Mobics, followed soon by so-called elite soldiers. Then I believe that they will help us to destroy the occupiers and liberate our beautiful Crimea. I know some of you aren't that familiar with Crimea's history or the annexation of Crimea, so I have made a couple of videos about these specific topics, which you can watch now if you haven't already. And remember, don't forget to like and subscribe. Slava Ukraini! Such a week. Whew.